am the Women's Committee President at the Islamic Center of Bloomington, and I'm also founder of the Open Hearted Campaign, which seeks to promote mutual peace and understanding between Muslim Americans and all Americans. But tonight, I am here to talk to you about my faith. And I could do that generally, and I thought about doing that, but it's actually currently Ramadan, which, if you don't know, is the holy month where Muslims fast. And I thought that would be the perfect time to talk about my faith as it relates to Ramadan. So I'm going to try and do that. So Ramadan is 30 days long. It's a lunar month. It's the 9th lunar month of the Islamic lunar calendar. And we fast from sunrise to sunset, which means we don't drink and we don't eat and we don't have intimate relations the whole month during those times. And then at night, we have a big dinner, we break our fast, and we have a great sense of community. We do this together as a community. We also, while not just abstaining from these things, try to be better people. So we try to maybe read the Quran more, or we try to do more in the community, or we stop smoking, or something like that. So we take the energy and time that we used to be putting into these things, and we try to focus it somewhere else during the day for 30 days. I want to describe to you what it feels like to fast for 30 days in a row, because something happens to you over the course of this time. And the only way I can really think to explain it is through a metaphor. So imagine that you are wearing a coat, and it is a beautiful coat. You just purchased it, and it fits you perfectly, and you love it. And it just, when you move, it just moves with you, and you feel really graceful and elegant, and it's your favorite coat. So you're going to wear it everywhere. You're going to wear this coat everywhere you go. And because you wear this coat everywhere you go, it starts to get a little dirty. You know, over time, you went hiking last week, and there's some mud on the cuff now, and last week you went out to dinner, and you spilled chocolate syrup all down the front, and it's just kind of seeing the holes in the pockets and putting your hands in so much. And your coat at this point, you know, it's been a while since you got it, and it's kind of starting to look gross. Like, you need a new coat. But you can't take it off. It's your favorite coat. You don't want to get rid of it. There's so many good memories in this coat. It's a part of you now, right? And then Ramadan comes. And if, to describe the metaphor more clearly, perhaps, the coat represents all of your worldly stuff. So, you know, God is here. I want to be close to God. I want to be in God's light and feel His light. But when I'm worrying about my test next week, or that presentation I have to give, or I'm thinking about how my kids just spilled milk all over the floor, I forget about God. We all do this, right? Humans do this. We were created this way. And God knows this, and He is merciful. Alhamdulillah. This means all praise is due to God. It's something that Muslims often say when they want to show that they're grateful to God. Alhamdulillah. So, when I start fasting, that first day that I fast, I start to feel the dirt sliding off of my coat. I feel a little cleaner already just after one day. And about halfway through, I look pretty good again. My coat's not so bad. It's like I've washed it maybe or something. Things have improved. And by the end, I take the coat off completely, and I get a brand new coat. And it looks just as good as that first coat I had, and I love it just as much. And I'm so excited to take it on for this next year and wear it and keep it nice and pretty, except I won't, because in 5 days I know I'm going to dump tomato sauce on the front, because isn't that what we all do with our new clothes? But it's a new coat, and every year after I fast, I feel like I've got that fresh start. I've kind of started back to zero, and I get a new fresh start. So I really like fasting for this reason, and for many reasons. And it is with a heavy heart that I have to say that this year is the 6th Ramadan that I have not fasted. Now you may say, why? It's obligatory, all Muslims fast, and that's true, but there are some exemptions. For example, if you're sick, you don't have to fast, you make those days up later. The same is true if you're pregnant or nursing. And I have been pregnant or nursing for 6 years. 5 years, this is the 6th year. So, when I found out I was pregnant with my first son, it was the first day of Ramadan that year. And I went to the mosque, it happened to be a Friday when we have our Friday service. I went to the mosque, and I pulled aside a woman. I didn't know anyone that well. I'm kind of shy about talking to new people, and it took me a while to get settled and meet people. But I knew this woman better than anyone else, and I pulled her aside and I said, okay, I'm going to tell you something I haven't told anyone. And I just started crying, and I said, I'm pregnant, and I don't know if I should fast or not. I don't know what to do. And she thank God, she said, no, you don't fast. It's okay. You don't fast. It's all right. And I felt immense relief immediately because I was scared, and wanted to do the right thing. But when she said that, it also created kind of a balance in my life, like a scale. And on one side, we have my faith needs. So, am I feeling God's love? Am I showing Him my gratitude? Do I feel a good relationship and feel that strength there? My faith needs. And then on the other side, we have my family needs. So, are my children safe? Am I safe? Are we all fed and healthy? Are we doing well? How are we emotionally? These are both very important things that need to be met in any person's life, right? When she told me I didn't have to fast, my balance ticked slightly towards the family needs. And my faith needs went down just slightly, but it was only one Ramadan, and I could make the days up later, and it was going to be fine. And I was, it was very relieving. It was my first pregnancy. I didn't want to take any risks. I wanted to do the right thing, so it felt good. But then the next year, I was nursing that baby. And then the year after that, I was pregnant with my second son and still nursing the first baby. And then the year after that, I was nursing them both. And I thought, well, they're 2.5 and 1. I'll try. If my milk supply goes down, it's not that big of a deal because they eat solids now, and if they wean, it's not the end of the world. Well, my milk supply didn't go down, and they just kept nursing. And I can only describe the feeling of fasting when you're physically incapable of fasting as very slowly starving. So I had to stop. That's not the point of fasting, is not to starve yourself. So I had to stop. And then the next year, they were both still nursing. And then this year, I have this lovely new little creature who is nursing. And I tried to fast one day, thinking maybe it'll be better with just one. But it wasn't. I could already tell after one day it was going to be too much. So I'm not fasting again this year. Now, by the end of the 6th Ramadan, my scale has slowly tipped further and further to where I feel great about my motherhood. I feel great about my kids. I love my kids. I feel like I've really met their needs emotionally and nutritionally. They were exclusively breastfed for an extended period of time, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Feel really good. But my faith needs are down here on the floor somewhere. I can't really find them. They're kind of buried under some stray papers or something. I'm going to have to look for those here in a little bit because it's starting to get concerning. And basically, it's something that's been difficult for me to balance or to tilt the scale so far in one direction year after year. And this is something I spoke to a friend of mine about this, because it's something that I have felt guilt about. I don't fast and I feel guilty. I should be fasting. I should try harder. I'm not doing my best, or I'm doing the wrong thing. And I kind of spoke to her and I said, what do you think? How do you feel about this? And she talked me through it a little bit and basically helped me realize that guilt and that doubt, religiously speaking, women have an exemption for this. I'm not doing anything against what my faith, requires, or what my holy book requires, or what I believe God requires. So adding that guilt and letting myself feel that is really just adding another layer of dirt to my coat. And my coat is filthy. I have been wearing it for 6 years, and I can't take it off. It's my only coat, and I'm just waiting for that Ramadan where I can fast and finally get the nice new one. But in any case, this is what I have for now, and there's no reason to add an extra layer of dirt. I don't need extra weight and distraction between me and God. I can do the things I can do, like praying, and thinking of God in my daily life and seeing His beauty in the world, and use those things to try and get closer to God, and keep my coat as clean as I can, to add to it. But there's another element to this, which you may remember I said earlier, that you make it up from later days. Now when you're sick, that means 1 or 2 days, maybe a week if you're really sick, right? Well, when you're pregnant, you miss all 30 days. When you're nursing, you miss all 30 days. So by the end of this Ramadan, I will have 160 days. It's an overwhelming number, I know. And I have felt overwhelmed by this number many times. And I have felt anxious about this number, like I see it there, hanging somewhere in the future. And it just keeps going up, no matter what I do. And I just am not sure what I'm going to do when I get to that number. And so again, I was talking to my friend, same friend, she's a really great friend, about this. And I said, do you ever feel overwhelmed about that? Like, you have young kids too. You've missed a lot of days. Does it ever make you feel like stressed out or anything? And she said the most perfect thing to me, which was that she sees it as a sort of rite of passage, moving from those hectic days of young motherhood into those hopefully calmer days of being a middle-aged woman. And that for her, that's kind of a beautiful way to transition between the two eras of our lives. And she said, we can do it together. I owe a lot of days too. And that's something that means a lot because, of course, during Ramadan, the whole community fasts. You get up in the morning and eat together. You eat after sunset together. That's 30 days with a lot of community support, not 160 days all by myself somehow. So, she said, we'll fast it together. We'll do part of it together. And I was so glad that she said that because it really changed my perspective on the whole issue. And so basically what I've decided to do, or to feel, which we can only do our best, right, to feel something specific, is instead of focusing on the guilt and the doubt of now and not fasting, feeling bad about it, is to accept the mercy, accept God's mercy that He created this exemption for me and for us, and relish in the youth of my children because they're not going to be young forever. And while they can be very frustrating at times, they are also, the best thing I've ever done and such a blessing. And so I'm going to try and accept that mercy and be grateful for having them and having this period of my life, even if I can't fast during this period. And when I look to the future, instead of feeling anxious and overwhelmed, I'm going to look at it like the light at the end of the tunnel. Because for each of those days I fast, my scale is going to tip slightly back to balanced. And when I've been walking down this tunnel for a long time. It's been 5 years now, and I'm just kind of dragging my trash behind me, walking with barely enough light to get through. And one day, down the line, inshallah, God willing, I'm going to come out at the end of the tunnel, and I'm going to be in the light, and I'm finally going to get to take off my coat. Thank you very much.